All right. So, wow, it's such a big crowd. It's amazing. So I was told I had 5 minutes to do this, and like honestly, if you've ever seen me speak before, I can't even say my name in 5 minutes. So I decided I'm going to teach you something tonight, and what I'm going to teach you about is leaky buckets, death stink, and true love. 5 minutes, no problem. I'm going to talk really fast, and everybody's just going to have to keep up. I'm April. I've done a lot of startups, like 6 of them. Some of them exited. There was all kinds of money changed hands. Right now, I do this company called Sprintly. The story of the birth of Sprintly is actually kind of cool. So I know this guy, Joe Stump. We were both speaking at a conference. We were hanging out at the bar afterwards, as one does. And we were talking about what kind of company would you like to run? And I said, I want to run a company that makes money so that I don't have to go raise money and that just has happy customers and we just get to do what we like to do, which in my case is marketing and sales, in his case is product. And he said, I got a company like that. I founded it and I sold it. Maybe we should buy it back. And then we did. So Sprintly is this company. They do agile. We do basically agile project management and issue tracking. We have thousands of happy customers. Some of them are featured on this slide. I'm not going to talk about that though, because time's ticking. So what I thought is I would teach you pretty much everything that I'm doing at Sprintly right now. And so it's funny, when people talk about startup marketing, the thing that they think I'm doing is they think I'm making viral videos and things that drive a bajillion hits to the website and result in gigantic uptick in revenue by some force of magic. And in fact, I don't do that at all. What I'm usually doing is doing this kind of methodical thing. So the first thing I do is I start by fixing all the things that ruin everything, because these are generally easy to do. This is what I call the leaky bucket problem, right? Everyone's so focused at getting more water in the bucket. Meanwhile, it's all pouring out all the holes, right? So what I recommend you do is you plug the holes. And the holes are things like sign-up flow conversion. You have odious or absent onboarding. You have annoying salespeople. You have indecipherable pricing and packaging. In the case of Sprintly, we didn't have the last 2, but the first 2, yeah, we kind of had that. The onboarding wasn't awesome. I mean, we weren't doing a terrible job, but could it be better? Oh, yeah. So we spent a lot of time fixing that because we had lots of people coming into the pipeline. The second thing we started to focus on was what I will call death stink. Death stink, this expression comes from this time that I was in Toronto, and I had this real estate agent was trying to sell me a house, and so she walked me over to the house, and I walked in, and she's selling the hell out of this house. So she's in, she's like, look, it's got these beautiful stained glass and 20-foot ceilings, and come on upstairs, and we'll look at the big, giant bedroom and everything. And I'm standing in the middle of the living room going, lady, it smells like a dead dude is in this house. Like, it smelled like somebody died and decomposed, and I will never, ever, ever get the stink out of this house. No, I'm not going upstairs to look at the beautiful bedroom. You can sell all you want, but it stinks in here. We do the same thing in software. You wouldn't believe it, all the time. We spend all this time and energy and effort trying to get people to come to our party, and then they get there and they look around and they're like, you know what, kind of smelly in here. What those things are annoyance bugs. There are bugs that your existing customers might just be working around them because they're used to them. You might be used to them. You got to fix those first. Mediocre support is another thing. I don't think anybody comes into work today in support that says, you know what I'm going to do today? Mediocre support. I'm just going to be mediocre at my job all day. However, there is a lot of mediocre support out there because the support people aren't getting their bugs fixed, and they start feeling bummed out about the whole company, and the next thing you know, people call up and they're like, yeah, our stuff's buggy and shitty. You have to fix that. The last thing is lies. So we all exaggerate about what our company does, right? A little, right? If you do it to the point where you're just plain lying, you get this sort of death stink thing. It's like, you promised me this thing was going to do this thing, and then I got in there and it doesn't smell right in here. Something's wrong, right? And so you got to fix all that stuff. That's easy. All this stuff is easy. Then you get to the hard stuff. What's the hard stuff? The hard stuff is focusing on the stuff that makes everything better, right? So we started by fixing all the stuff that made everything bad. Now I'm going to focus on the stuff that makes everything better. And the way I encourage you to think about this, and I know like really good startup marketing people all think like this, right? It's like true love is not a funnel optimization problem. Right? It's not about getting more people to the website and more people through your funnel and more leads. It's about getting the right leads, right? So great marketing is a lot like matchmaking, right? So you and your company, you have stuff that you're amazing at, right? You have stuff that nobody else can do. And there are people in the world that really, really give a shit about that stuff, right? And so what you're trying to do as the marketer is bring those two pieces together. And frankly, you don't care about anybody else, right? How this makes everything better is all those people come through the funnel faster. All those people will pay you more money. Those people renew. Those people will love your stuff more because they're perfectly suited to it. And they're going to tell their friends. And then you get in this nice cycle where everybody's telling their friends how awesome you are. I'll give you an example for Sprintly. Project management software. It's the worst market ever, right? There's like 200 products in this market. Like, who the hell would ever get in this market? It's awful, right? Not only that, I've got these giant competitors like, oh, maybe you heard of them, Pivotal, Tracker, Jira. It's by this little company, Atlassian, right? Now, is Jira a shitty product? No. We're talking later. So for most people, no. For lots of people, for thousands of people, lots of people use it, right? But for some people, right? For some people, Jira sucks, right? It's hard to get going. You got to get some training. Do you know there's a thing called a Jira implementation specialist? Trust me, there ain't no Sprintly implementation specialist, right? And so for certain kinds of people, Jira is not the thing. Those are my people, right? And my people are like, they're startups, they're little custom dev shops. They're people that don't need all that fancy stuff, right? And I would be perfectly happy if I had half the number of people coming through my funnel, if those people all looked like that. Because those people are going to love my stuff. Those people are going to tell those friends. Those people are going to convert. Those people are going to pay me more money. And those people are going to be my bread and butter, frankly. That's actually my whole thing. I have no idea where the timer is, so am I on time? I don't know. Yeah, I'm over it, but, and one little thing. So if you are a startup, you can go sign up and get a free trial of my thing, and if you put in this code, truelove, I'm going to send you sweet Sprintly t-shirt, but only if you're a startup, because if you're not a startup, I don't actually love you.
Yeah, sure. We'll switch.
We're doing questions?
Oh, yeah, questions.
Yeah. I'm not that far over. I don't get questions.
No, yeah, of course you get questions.
Yeah.
Do we have the runners out there right now?
Come on, have some questions.
Come on, no one has a question?
Hi.
Everyone does marketing perfectly?
Yeah. Why did you come up with the name Sprintly? Oh yeah, this is a great question. Why did I come up with the name Sprintly? Okay, I didn't come up with this. Look at me. Would I have picked that name? No. No. Well, so here's the thing, right? The original idea was it was a sprint management tool, right? That was the original idea. And people do use it for sprint management and sprint planning and things like that. But it's actually, depends. You don't have to be running sprints like, super to the letter agile project management stuff in it. So Sprintly was the name. It's a decent name. It's stuck. There's no reason to change it at this point. We get, it has very good brand recognition in our space right now, and so changing it would be stupid. We get tons of traffic on the website and stuff. We've got lots of existing customers, so it's not worth it to do a rebrand at this point. But yeah, would I have picked that name at the beginning? Maybe not. One more question. Okay.
So you've done a lot of marketing consulting before, correct? I'm assuming there's a lot of people here who are like startup marketing consultants or doing marketing at startups. What can you do to help them sell in what they understand to companies that might not understand these core competencies?
Yeah, so generally my role has been, I've been the VP marketing or the VP marketing and sales 6 times. And then what happens is you do your job really good, your company gets acquired, the new company sucks, you get all depressed, you leave, and then you spend a few months consulting, trying to figure out what your next company is you're going to land at. That's kind of been my thing. I don't know if anybody else is doing that, but that's me. And so the consulting part of what I've done has been kind of, I don't know. One thing I'll tell you from being a marketing consultant is I don't think that startups use consultants very well, and they could use them quite well. I have a consultant working for me right now, and she's freaking awesome, and she's helping me on a bunch of stuff. But I think in general, particularly venture-backed startups, don't use consultants well, and the VCs hate them for no reason. I mean, it's different in the Valley, but I don't know if that answers your question. Like, is your question more about how should I get started in startup marketing if I don't know any of this stuff? What should I do? Or what's that? What's that?
Why do they hate them?
Because frankly, they feel like they should be only investing in talent that's going to grow up with the company. And so there's this idea that, you know, it would be better for me to just hire a junior person, train them, grow them up, than to bring a senior person in for a couple months to just jumpstart stuff and get things running fast and get things going quick, which I think is just stupid. So I've got a consultant working for me right now who's helping me with work through a bunch of my metric stuff, and I'm good at that stuff, but she's really good at it, and she's just helping me go fast, right? And so it's all about speed and getting going quickly. But I don't think that, you know, maybe it's just a Toronto or a Canadian VC thing, because I see the market really differently in Silicon Valley. There's a lot of senior people that are doing stuff on a temporary basis where they go in, they help companies get something going and then teach them how to do it really fast and then step out. I think it's actually a great use of money in some cases. But here, I don't think we do a very good job of that here. I should teach a course. How to use your consultant better, done by the ex-consultant.
Next TechTO presentation. Cool. Thank you, April.